to episode 21 of From Then to Now, the TEW 2020 series, where we take the World Wrestling Federation from 1992, get to as close as the modern day as we can. In this episode, we've got the second superstars after Saturday night's main event 30. Announced for this show, we've got the return of the Road Warriors. We've got Block B doing their bench press challenge. And we've got the build for the Horsemen versus Hogan, Hart, and Warrior. There's some exciting stuff going on in the World Wrestling Federation. And if you're excited too, make sure you hit that like button because it lets me know that you guys are enjoying the content. If we can try and get 10 likes on this video, that'd be great. So, let's get straight into the show. But before then, where are we based today? We are in the Midwest, in the University of Minnesota, the old home of the AWA. And we're at the Williams Arena, the Twin City campus, their basketball arena, because honestly, I went to university a couple of years ago in the UK, and we didn't have anywhere where you could fit 14,000 people. That honestly amazes me. But now, let's get into the show. And so, continuing the trend we started last week, gonna slightly differ up the format of the show, and we open up with Vince McMahon being our ring announcer because Finkel's not in the mod, which is annoying. Ladies and gentlemen, your opening match is a tag team match. It is the return of the Road Warriors, the Legion of Doom. And it gets a 48 as the Legion of Doom beat the Bushwhackers in just under 4 minutes. It's a squash match. Scoop Power Slam, don't even hit. We'll have them hit the Doomsday device because it's their return. We want to get them back in. And Luke Williams can't pick up the win in his own arena. Poor him. So excellent chemistry for the Warriors, as we know. Tag team specialists for the Bushwhackers, as they are essentially here just to job at this point. They are going to be phased out because they're the Bushwhackers. Let's be honest here. Gets a 48 rating though, not bad. And the first promo of the night is the Horsemen. They're backstage and they're chatting. It's Flair, Michaels and Luger. And Flair says that he has got a surprise for them. He has brought someone in who is going to help them to ensure that they can end Hulkamania. And he brings in JJ Dillon. JJ Dillon's been in this save the entire time. He's been in WWF the entire time because he was a road agent around this point. I assume he came over roughly when Flair did. But we've decided to make him an on-screen character. And once again, JJ Dillon is going to be the manager for the Horsemen. As we build towards finding out who their fourth member is. I think it's around King of the Ring or SummerSlam where we actually reveal that. And that's when we'll start the build to their big WrestleMania match. Because I know what their Mania match is next year. Oh boy, it's a big one. Gets to 69 though. High Voltage back in the ring after their return last week. And they beat the Headshrinkers, the team who they believe attacked them at WrestleMania. And it's Owen Hart who picks up the quick victory, beating Samu with a sharpshooter. 53 for Owen, a 47 for Coco, 52 for Samu, and a 36 for Fatu. Gets a 42 rating overall. Pretty good stuff. But yeah. So Owen and Coco believe it was the Headshrinkers, because obviously they were feuding with Hacker and the Barbarian at the time. And that is who they've targeted, and they've beaten them here. So that's done. Surely. And they seem to agree. They believe they have settled their difference. So, they challenge the Miracle Violence Connection for Saturday night's main event. Oakland comes out, does the interview with them. But yes, They said they are happy, they are satisfied that they believe that they have just beaten the team that attacked them at WrestleMania. I'm going to tell you for nothing. They haven't. But they believe they have. Owen Hart, so they're moving on and they want the tag team titles. Will they accept? We get the match which was supposed to happen last week, but kayfabe didn't. It was never supposed to happen last week. But Yokozuna beats Max Moon with a banzai drop in 1 minute 30. It is a squash. And they have excellent chemistry. Yokozuna gets a 59, Moon gets a 46. The progress we have made with Yokozuna has been incredible. His pop growth has been insane. I mean, in reality, he's supposed to be winning the Rumble in January and main eventing next year's WrestleMania. That's not going to happen. I'm going to tell you that for nothing. Well, we're not going to do things exactly to the truth because that's where no fun in that. Where's the fun in just doing exactly what Real World did? Yokozuna is going to go on his own journey in our world. And it starts here with this squash of Max Moon. 59 for Yokozuna, 46 for Moon. Excellent chemistry. Well, great chemistry even. Good stuff. And after the match, Fuji-gun, Nord and Yokozuna, under the instructions of Mr. Fuji, keep beating down Max Moon. And they just pummel him down. John Nord hits a big power slam. Yokozuna hits another banzai drop. John Nord hits a leg drop. Yokozuna hits a splash. They are just dominating them. Gets a 62 rating. Big stuff. We get a promo with The Undertaker and Paul Bearer. With Brawler was apparently the road agent, which probably shouldn't have been. And Paul Bearer is like, Hogan, you keep getting distracted. You don't realise the danger that you are in. The Undertaker is after you, and yet you don't seem to care. And that will be your downfall. Because Hogan, there is nothing worth distracting you from The Undertaker. Ric Flair's not a threat to you. Shawn Michaels isn't a threat to you. Lex Luger's not a threat to you. Yet that's all you seem to care about. When compared to The Undertaker, none of them can hurt you. The pain you feel from them three isn't worth than 1% of what The Undertaker can do to you. And Hogan, at King of the Ring, The Undertaker is going to bury you. And who knows, you can go join your friend Randy Savage on the commentary booth. Maybe you'll have fun with that. Where with we can have the commentary booth be The Undertaker's graveyard. The people who tried to beat The Undertaker, but couldn't do it. Hogan, you're your own worst enemy. Sometimes you need to look beyond what's right in front of you. Gets a 67 rating. I'm actually really happy with that promo. Not too bad. A 77 rating here as we get Block B's Bench Press Challenge. As again, it's the same rules as Block A's last week. 1 rep max. The weight's gonna keep. You get your turn. You do your bench press. You hand it over to somebody else, and the weight keeps on increasing. The first person to drop out is Sean Morley, which, I mean, to be fair, is not the strongest muscles in his body, is it? Duke Droese goes next, leaving Canyon and Levesque as the final two. And these two keep going for a while. They're as they keep going, they're struggling and they're struggling. And in the end, they both go out on the same weight. Canyon fails, and then Levesque goes next, and he also cannot get that weight up. meaning we've got a tie. Kangan and Levesque win, Duke Droese in third, and Sean Morley in fourth. It's a 77 rating. Good stuff. You know, I'm going to give you a challenge though. Put your comments in the put your predictions in the comments. You know all 8 of the people in the boot camp now. Who do you think is going to win? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm not going to tell you if you're right or not because this is going until SummerSlam. But it'll be fun to see. Well, you get a backstage segment here with the natural disasters, Earthquake and Typhoon. And in comes Jimmy Hart. And he starts chatting to them. He's trying to increase his Hart family again. And he wants to apologise to the natural disasters for how we treated them earlier in this year. So, and he's wondering if they'd be willing to come back into the fold. To join the strengthened Hart family. I mean, we may have the next Intercontinental Champion. The Mountie's the #1 contender. And Earthquake and Typhoon look at each other and they just laugh at Jimmy Hart. They have no intention of going back to him. Jimmy Hart's expression suddenly changes from the bumbling groveler to, okay, fuck you then. And the Nasty Boys jump the natural disasters from behind, because I realised technically we never really had a major payoff to this feud. It's kind of been simmering underneath the surface for a while, but we never actually got an official payoff because they were in the Triple Threat at Mania. Their singles match couple of nights before was a draw. So we need a payoff to this feud, and we're going to build towards that now. We get the Miracle Violence connection. They cut a promo, and they're basically saying, yeah, you know what? They accept High Voltage's challenge. They may be heels, but they are defending champions still. Which I think is a nice little, not a compliment, because I think it makes sense with these characters. These aren't the cowering heels. These are heels which like to hurt you. So they will face anyone because they believe that they are the best. And so far, they've been proven right. Gets a 65 rating though. Good stuff. We'll then get a little vignette, which we'll get another one of next week. Papa Shango wasn't working. I couldn't think of stuff to do with Papa Shango. So, I'm not. I'm bringing Kama in early. The MMA guy. We're going to have... The Godfather's going to become Kama. And he's going to debut in 2 weeks' time on the Go Home show. Saturday night's main event. It's a 71, which is pretty good stuff. Quick squash match. Bulldog beats Chris Walker. Toys with him a little bit. Hits the running power slam. 1, 2, 3. They have great chemistry somehow in that match. Walker gets a 19 and Bulldog gets a 67 as we continue his build to SummerSlam. Gene Okerlund is chatting with Block A, and he basically confirms in the schedule that next week they are going to be revealing the score of all 8 contestants in a league table. The person who is bottom will automatically be put into the elimination spot. But the 2 above him are tied. So in 2 weeks, they will face off to decide who will go into that elimination match. The loser will. And basically he's just chatting to Brock A about how he thinks all of their chances are. Jacobs is pretty happy, and Lawler, they're both happy because they've both won a challenge. They feel like that should guarantee them survival. Scotty Riggs and Jeff Jarrett, they're a little bit more nervous. They've been middle of the road in both challenges. And obviously that's, despite the fact that Lawler and Jacobs both lost the challenge, finished dead last, that winning of a challenge is a big deal. Finishing in the middle is a bit mid. We're going to get a promo with what I'm calling a Samoan dynasty. Haku, the Barbarian, the Warlord, Samoan Savage, and the Headshrinkers. And they're basically saying, we weren't the ones who attacked you, High Voltage. And we're sorry you feel that we were. We didn't even know that our cousins were coming in at that point. I think they're cousins. I don't actually know how the whole family tree works. But we didn't even know they were coming in. We're glad they are. But we did not set them on you. But you're in our past now. We're done with you. We don't care anymore. We are moving forward, and we are moving forward together. Because when we are together, the dynasty just keeps getting stronger. Big promo, not too bad. Get a quick promo from the Smoking Guns. They're chatting about how they're struggling, and they are struggling at the moment. They're doing what they can, but at the end of the day, they're losing a lot. They've just got to keep fighting forward, and eventually, they will become the WWF World Tag Team Champions. We get a weird little segment here, as the Iron Sheik attacks Repo Man backstage. Just beats him up, locks him in the camel clutch, and just toys with him. Doesn't say much, he just shouts a little bit about infidels and all that stuff. But Sheik just attacks Repo Man for the fun of it. IRS versus Tatanka comes next, and Tatanka picks up the victory when he hits IRS with the Indian Death Drop. Gets a 62 rating. IRS gets a 60 and a 56 for Tatanka. Now this is going to test your memories. Because Ric Flair is getting ready to come out with the Horseman. And he gets jumped by Crush. Brian Adams. Who is angry at him for injuring him earlier in this year. On an episode of Superstars back in January. Although technically that wasn't the match Crush got injured in. It was on an indie show where he was wrestling for the NWA. I still don't know how he was wrestling on that show, but he was. And he injured his back, and he's been out ever since. He only came back the other day. But we're kayfabing it that he is angry at Ric Flair. Gets an 83 rated match. And hey, the Horsemen got JJ Dillon on the show. Maybe the babyfaces have got their fourth person to help them. An 83 rating though. Hogan, Hart and the Warrior cut their promo as they get ready for Warrior to have a quick match. It's good stuff. They accept the challenge thrown out. They will fight in a 6-man tag at Saturday night's main event. But you need to be careful what you wish for. Horseman, this is WWF territory. This is our yard. You don't get to play your games here. 924 rating, and also yes, the use of games is very specific. Get a quick squash match as Ultimate Warrior defeats Steve Armstrong, hits his splash. During this match, the entire Horsemen come out to ringside, and Lex Luger jumps Warrior post-match as Flair and Michaels sort of hold back Hogan and Hart. And Lex Luger's basically just hitting a big move on Warrior and then posing, showing off all his muscles. Not bad. 74 rating though. Which leads to our main event match. The Horsemen and the babyface teams are still at ringside and still very much not at each other's throats throughout this entire match. As the Mountie comes out, which just stacks the numbers even higher against the babyface team, because obviously the Mountie is facing Bret Hart and has been feuding with Bret Hart the entire year. But it's Shawn Michaels who picks up the win when he defeats the Mountie with sweet chin music after 17 minutes, longest match of the night. 76, 79 for Michaels, 77 for the Mountie, and they have great chemistry. Love that. And the Mountie developed a new power spot. Interesting. And the main event angle sees Hart run into the ring, stuck between two evils, Shawn Michaels and the Mountie. And basically he just stops them guys from fighting, because at the end of the day he doesn't want either guy to have any excuses during their IC title matches. And basically, so Hart and Michaels just start yapping off, and they both get attacked from behind by a debuting Carl Ouellet. At least I think he's debuting at this point. But Carl Ouellet is coming in. He takes them both out with a clothesline to the back of the head, and he teams up with the Mountie and starts taking them down. And they both start laying in the punches to Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. The Horsemen and the Babyfaces charge the ring to try and take out the Mountie and Carl Ouellet, but they both escape and go up to the top of the ramp, where the Nasty Boys and Jimmy Hart are waiting for them. A lot of these guys aren't on screen because there's only so much you can put on screen. And when they're standing at the ramp, feeling pretty good with themselves, they get jumped from behind by the Natural Disasters. Both hitting double clotheslines to the back of the head, ironically the exact same spot Ouellet just did. And there's a brawl at the top. The Horsemen and the Babyfaces start brawling. It all goes in, and this is a massive mess. And the show goes off air like that. We don't see the end of the brawl. Pretty fun though. What do we get overall? We get a 81. I mean, that doesn't really matter though. What do you think we got? Give us a rating in the comments down below. Let me know what you think, because that's so much more important than what the game thinks. Because I'm telling these stories for you. And I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.